everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing a Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have an update announcement, lots of Guild War, hero adjustments, Gwendolyn buff, it looks like, artifact changes, arena and other optimizations, a giant wall of text that I will read so you don't have to. Plus, we've got our first little Christmas teaser here. Frostfall Jamboree will be coming back. Okay guys, so Frostfall Jamboree, a giftacular season, the 22nd Christmas events. So, Christmas Frostfall Jamboree. Looks like we have a Santa King Har's skin, right? Which is, I'm guessing, which would be great. I'm not gonna hate that. That's hilarious and awesome. Hopefully it's like a fun one or free holiday one. The guy in the back does not look familiar. There's no one really on horseback that I would think this character is. So let's assume he's a new tactician hero. Probably, maybe. We'll see. But let's go to our updates and see if there's any teasers maybe in here. But I don't think we're going to get too much else. There isn't anything else regarding Christmas that I can see as far as the teasers on like the in-game part here. And I don't see anything on the Discord yet as of the moment of recording here. Soon after reset. So maybe we'll get some bigger teasers for Christmas events to come a little bit later. Alright, server will go offline. This is the 8th or 9th, depending on where you are. So next week's event. Alright, after this update, the unused Hero of the Year skin voucher in your storage will be recalled. The Woodland Wildflower Eloin will be reissued via mail. And your mailbox expires. So friendly reminder if you're a very light player or you stepped away for a while and you're debating coming back and you just want to see what's going on. If you haven't claimed your old skin, that beautiful pink Eloin skin from that event, and you have that voucher in your storage, make sure you do it. All right, Guild War updates. Added Guild War Tier A and B League system. Added a Tier A and B League system effective from Season 12. During Season 11 settlement, all guilds below Platinum 1 will be assigned to Tier B League. Starting from Season 12, Tier A League and Tier B League guilds will use different seasonal maps for Guild War and will not be matched against each other. During each Season 12 season settlement, Tier A and Tier B guilds will undergo tier evaluation together, with Tier A guilds prioritized in ranks. During the season settlement, top-ranked Tier B guilds will be promoted to Tier A next season, and bottom-ranked Tier A guilds will be relegated to B tier next season. The exact number of promotion and relegations depends on the registered guild count and can be viewed in the interface description once Season 12 begins. Alright, this is going to be one of those things I should say that's important to be part of a cluster as well. Because think about it, like, if you've been with a bunch of tryhards and you're like, I am not ready to hang in Tier A, I kind of want to chill, swap easy to another guild and go to Tier B. Or the opposite. Maybe you've been wanting to push a little harder and you want to be in a Tier A guild and try a little harder. Well, it depends on where your guild falls, so it's really interesting. I'm curious to see how it's going to lay out properly. Alright, Guild War Season 12 launch. Updated the Central Keep and Defense Tower maps for the new season. Updated seasonal rewards. A new theme style, avatar borders, and emotes. New season Demon Soldier Tormented Banshee can be obtained through the Guild War. Demon Soldier Tormented Banshee, Blood Spring Creature, and Speedster Demon Soldier briefly gain invisibility at low HP. Optimize the recommended system plan so it can be applied to all facilities of the same type. Optimized Guild War matchmaking mechanics. Hopefully you don't face the same guild 12 times. Just kidding, there's not that many weeks, but you know what I mean. And then Guild War Season 5, or sorry, Season 5. Season 11, Gladiator's Gauntlet will start on Server 5. It'll start on the 5th and go through the 17th with a preparation phase, of course, starting first for the first few days. And Server 6 series will start on the 27th. That's not right. 10/27 through 11? I don't know what that... I think that's a typo. Or it's an art... I don't know what they mean. Okay, they're drunk. Yeah, anyway. Mystery Demon Chest... Sorry. Mystery Demon Chest Demon Soldier adjustments. That's a tongue twister. Added new Demon Soldier to Mystery Demon Chest. The Demon Soldier Golden Guard. Alright, heroes. Torador. Fixed an issue where his Awakened 5 would fail to trigger a second revival if he died immediately after the first one ended. Kagiri. Fixed a lingering visual effect issue with Sweeping Strike and Ember Strike. Fixed an issue where Sweeping Strike or Ember Strike triggered during Tranquil Reflection and would lack invincibility for a short duration at the start. Interesting. Scythra clarified the description of a unit in the talent to specify that it excludes units not summoned by this hero. Narissa optimized the targeting of Abyssal Favor to prioritize non-Sanctity units such as Honora. Alright, and Gwendolyn. Alright, let's go. Icy Shell applies a shield equal to... Wait. These are her changes? They didn't give her much of a description here, but these are the changes. It doesn't say before and after. It doesn't say she's been reworked. It just says this is what it is now. So these are what it is now. This is what it is now. Applies a shield equal to 70% max HP to all allies in range for 10 seconds. This shield is affected by healing effect. Oh, that's cool. So, like, is this the case where having way more than 100 healing effect is actually going to have a huge impact? Shield of Hope. When a shield applied by this hero to an ally expires, restores 5 to 10% of the target's max HP and grants 2% rage for 1 second. Frigid Fury. When a shield applied by this hero to an ally expires, inflicts 10% vulnerability of physical damage and up to 8 seconds slow and a 1 second freeze to up to 3 nearby enemies. Nice. Awaken 1. When Frigid Flurry is triggered, the number of enemy targets +2 and the vulnerability physical damage effect increases to 20%. Awaken 3. When taking fatal damage, gains unyielding for 5 seconds. During this time, all allies within the hero's basic attack range restore 10% of their max HP per second. Ooh. Can be triggered up to 1 time per battle. That's a nice little failsafe for everybody. Awaken 5. When casting Icy Shell, increases max HP by 10%, permanently stacks up to 3 times. So one would like to assume that Gwendolyn, who's never had a banner rerun ever, would likely be the limited hero over the Christmas time, or at least in the month of December. Why wouldn't she be? She's a Christmas hero. We expected it last year, and we didn't get it, and we were confused. It's like, why wouldn't you bring Gwendolyn back? Although people didn't want her last year because she wasn't as good, but this rework sounds pretty solid. I think there's already some content creators that have shown her rework. Did Destined? I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to take a look here. I know I saw someone post about it, but yeah, I think a couple people have tested some of these reworks. There are a few. No, not Destin. Really thought he did. Anyway, maybe. But yeah, there's going to be some testing, I'm sure, if you guys haven't seen it. Maybe it was Prospector. I don't know. But yeah. Gwendolyn update. I'm pretty sure this is already existing. this one or is already existed on the Forerunner server and the test servers. Venom, now we've seen some posts about as well. So Snakeblood Empress, she's been reworked into an AoE mage. All damage types have been changed to AoE magic damage. Below are the changes. Basic attack attacks up to 3 enemies, dealing up to 120% damage. Ultimate, the Serpentine Curse, after a brief channeling, deals up to 560 damage to enemies in the front area and inflict Hex for 10 seconds. Hex deals 35% continuous magic damage per second, cannot be dispelled. The Old Curse, when inflicting Hex on enemies, also inflicts 50% slow for up to 6 seconds. Cursing Gaze, after every up to 5 attacks or down to 5 attacks, the next attack deals up to 280% damage to enemies and inflicts Hex for 10 seconds. Awaken 5, basic attack, target quantity +2. Whew, okay, so before I move on to this new Mara adjustment, let's actually go back to what I was just looking at here. We were talking Discord. Boom. Venom hero adjustment. So there's some testing here as far as her adjustments. So basically, her basic attack becomes a true multi-target unit instead of a single target. Her Awaken 5, a 5 hits enemies per 5 enemies per basic attack. Major wave clear improvement. Let's see, the Serpentine Curse duration doubled, much stronger sustained uptime. Her Hex, this new debuff. Independent buff, significant and higher damage over time. It's a buff to her. Yeah, her buff to her damage. A damage over time, continuous. The Olden Curse, longer slow, increases crowd control value. And Cursing Gaze, a massive increase in burst potential. So I love this little description. I read this last night when I saw it. I think they did a good job of kind of breaking down her changes, but there is a bit more detailed here on that test server. I will click through these in case anybody wants to pause, see her Gear Raid 1, Gear Raid 1 testing changes, Matrix testing, and then overall assessment that she's been moved from not worth using to fully usable. She's now reliable, practical, and effective in modes that require steady AoE pressure, stronger and more consistent than before, but not among the top performers in her role. So that's fair. And I think there was a very similar one too here for Gwendolyn. So these two heroes just got a bit of a buff. So let's take a look. This report examines her adjustments. So this one has her Ice Guard Shield. The shield now benefits from healing bonus attributes. Okay. Here. Okay, I guess the Awakening adjustments, we're not listing those. There's some testing regarding the amount of shield before and after, which was the same before. Are they exactly the same? Healing when shield expires. Okay. So no change in the base shield values during the basic and the ultimate, but the healing is doubled when the shield expires. So the overall evaluation is for reliability improvements, healing is doubled, rage recovery more consistent, autoplay performance improved dramatically, stronger team unity, 20% physical vulnerability, boost entire team damage, new unyielding plus AoE regen, massive team-wide sustain, and then better performance in key modes in Guild War, Abyss, Mallard Trial, High Pressure PvE, in any mode requiring strong sustain and stability. The conclusion is that her rework is not a raw numbers buff. It's a major quality of life and team utility upgrade. More reliable sustain, more team damage amplification, better survivability tools, higher value in difficult and timed content. She's evolved from a simple shield support into a survival anchor plus team amplifier, especially effective in long fights and auto battle setups. I like that. I love the little descriptions. I think these are very good. I should start making YouTube shorts where I go through some of these because I feel like some of these resources that are created probably never get seen or looked at. And maybe a quick read as a YouTube short, you guys would actually get some good tips that might not have noticed otherwise. All right, back to the in-game descriptions. We have Numera. Before her ultimate. Before it was a basic attack is a 50% chance to launch one additional Grimthorn Spike. After, it launches one additional Grimthorn Spike every 2 basic attacks. Okay, so higher attack speed even more valuable. Nastia, her awakened 1. Poison immunity duration plus 5 seconds. Okay, let's just make the grade even greater. Those are a couple interesting ones. I like to see balances though. This is interesting. Making heroes work the way they intended. Sadie, Song of Courage, skill max HP effect description modified. Before it was increases the target's max HP by 20 to 30%, and after it's applies max HP increase to allies. Max HP increase is it increases max HP by 20 to 30%, takes effect only when stronger than the current buff or debuff of the same attribute. And then Philippa, who is an epic. Basic attack skill description modified. Added prioritized attacking airborne units. She needs more than that for a buff, but okay. And then Airless added a new bond skill, Winter's Blessing. Obtain Rivenhold. The Horn-bound Sovereign to unlock the following bonus effect. When healing prayer triggers healing, increases Airless's attack speed by 100 for 5 seconds. Rivenhold, the Horn-bound Sovereign. Let's see. I wonder if that is our reindeer-clad, skin-wearing hero. I think so. New hero, hornbound, part of the update, synergy with these frosty northerners. I think so. Alright, cool. Anyway, artifact, Regulus, Shield of Mourning, exclusive artifact. Skill description modified. So the update is that during the ultimate, increases max HP by an additional 20% and applies max HP increase of 10 to 15% to allies in the ultimate range. Takes effect only when stronger than the current buff or debuff of the same attribute. And new, Kane, Final Fang exclusive artifact, Leviathan added. Increases AoE damage by 20 to 30%. Grants 15% penetration to adjacent allies. Takes effect only when stronger than the current buff or debuff of the same attribute. It's funny that they're adding this little disclaimer, because I feel like that just should be obvious and just how it works, but any kind of clarity in descriptions is a good thing, even if it means a wall of text. It's better to know than not to know at all. Alright, there's a lot of changes. Alright, let's keep going. Arena. In the arena, you can now view your BP, opponent's BP, and the stage's monster BP from the team setup interface after selecting an opponent. In Arena, you can now view your BP and the stage's monster BP when editing your defense team. Arena's monster base attribute calculation adjusted. Monster base attributes have been increased. Commanders, please update your lineups and auto-fight records accordingly. Monster base attributes have been increased. Arena's getting harder again, oh boy. Oh gosh. Okay, other optimizations and fixes. Adjusted the season score reset calculation rules for Honor's Gauntlet, adjusting the score deduction ratio for higher ranking brackets. Auto fight optimization. The campaign stages, promotion insignia stages, and hero visit stages now support auto fight gear recording. Auto fight experience optimization. Heroes in auto fight can now adjust their gear and artifacts. New Trial of the Watchers added to Faction Trial up to stage 18. I never did 15. That was hard. That was the one where you had to strip the buff off the guy to not be like invisible, right? And then who was it that there was like one way that always got me? I think I stopped on 13, or maybe I just didn't do the boss. I don't know. All right, anyway, I need to do the other ones. All right, quick cast, optimization, individual hero adjustment. Our skill autocast can now be controlled. Commanders can enable this feature by going to system settings, gameplay, individual hero skill, quick cast control. I'm probably going to make a separate video for that in the future. At least a YouTube short with an amazing new setting that is going to be, I have to remember this stuff, oh gosh. Something we don't want to forget for sure. Because that's really important and really, really helpful. And if you have to turn it on in your settings, no one's going to remember to do that. Great. I'm going to forget. Remind me if I forget, guys. Okay, new achievements related to Trial of the Watchers have been added. Fixed an issue where Ezrith occasionally failed to replace textures when switching to World Destroyer mode and World Devourer mode. There was, I don't know where I was using in like yesterday or the day before, and I couldn't even tell what mode he was in until, like, you know, like the visual until he actually did the hit when an enemy came. So that would be nice. I clarified the skill description for Monolith Collision for the Demon Soldier Golden Guard. Optimized description Golden Guard continuously accelerates, colliding with the first ground hero ahead and dealing true damage equal to 40% of the target's max HP. The Demon Soldier also takes some damage. This skill can only be triggered one time per deployment. Then optimize the quick stage logic for Tower of Deception. You can now skip battles based on your highest historical floor reached. Stage support feature optimized. Added a guild member support option. All right, that was a whole lot of text and updates. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.